if you can just come on, because you've been doing this for a while now. You started out doing the IULs, and all of a sudden you jumped on mortgage, never done mortgage before. And then all of a sudden you start knocking out of the park with that. If you can just kind of come on and share what you've started doing this weekend, and what your thoughts have been on the leads, what you see is going on, and the kind of training that you're providing to your team with these leads and what you're saying, we would appreciate you sharing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, for sure. First and foremost, appreciate you having me on this call. But I mean, yeah, these leads are awesome. Like you said, this is the first time that I have done these mortgage leads. I've typically just done the IUL CRM leads. So, being able to get that simplified issue, like I always was a person just to do like F and G. So it definitely feels good to be able to, have those deposit hits your account daily. So I know Kendall's laughing. So yeah, I appreciate Kendall telling me that. He's told us a long time ago to, do the simplify. But yeah, I can definitely see now what he means by that, just, doing the simplified issue with these. In regards to, what was the other question about, you said for my team?
What have you been telling your team? Because I've been seeing more of them start jumping up on the mortgage stuff.
Yeah. So sorry, I got a call. So for my team, really, so me personally, like I like to like test things out. So I'm not afraid to put some skin in the game and try out different type of leads. Like that's just the type of person I am. You just can't be scared to invest in yourself and invest into your business. So I think for my team, them seeing me work these leads and obviously me being able to have success with this, they're going to look up to you and kind of duplicate what you do. So I've definitely made sure that, in my little Telegram team chat, just letting them know about like the deals I've got, just kind of like encouraging them to, go out and buy these mortgage leads. I know there is a couple of agents that are new and they actually went ahead and purchased some mortgage leads. I have a couple of agents that are new as well. They closed some leads, and then a couple of people bought some IUL leads. So just really just being a leader and just really just showing them that anybody can do it. I think that's really the main thing that's helped me and my team thus far.
Using John, the script, the training that we got from John to be able to work these digital mortgage leads.
Yeah, that's the script that we use. And typically, like I've been doing lately, like I just have a conversation with them. Like I don't want to, I just want to have a conversation with them. I don't want to be like robotic or anything like that. So just being able to, just kind of get a feel for, what they're saying, and just really it's just listening. You're just listening to what they say, asking the right questions and getting to know them. And, obviously you get the sale.
Got it. How different is it closing these versus the other leads that you've worked, whether it be IUL or final expense? What are you finding with these clients that you're calling?
Well, when I did my first sale, I was a little scared at first when I did my first sale because it was something new. But once I got the hang of it, I definitely think that it was something pretty. It was just simple. You know what I mean? Obviously, the IUL is something that's more difficult to speak about for some people, but this one is just, it's just cut and dry. It's pretty simple. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
Got it. Jamie and I were talking today about all the different leads that are running, the different videos that are people seeing. I think the mortgage protection lead is probably the most straightforward video out there. When these ads are running, I mean, it's very cut and dry. It's if you die, who's going to pay for the mortgage? If you get sick, who is going to pay for the mortgage? I think it's the most straightforward lead that you can have. And I'm excited watching what you and other people are starting to do. I mean, it's exciting this morning watching Angela come in. The first call she made of the day, had a $6,600 sale.
Yeah.
So that was great. So there's more and more of that going on all the time. Frank, what questions do you have for Shaq with what she's doing with mortgage right now?
I mean, I'd like it'd be cool to have her run through her script a little bit. And I want y'all to understand, like, unless you live under a rock, the economy sucks. Like it's awful. So if you think people are more concerned at this point of putting money away for a retirement or making sure something happens to them, that their house doesn't get taken back by the bank, I mean, you're mistaken. And that's, we talked about these ups and downs in certain areas of this industry, final expense, IULs, mortgage protection, annuities. Certain times are really good for certain products. I just think now, with as the economy's catching up, or the effects of the shitty economy that we've had now is catching up. I think people's focus is shifting on, I don't want to lose what I have. I do need to build a retirement plan, but I gotta protect what I have first before I start doing that. So I think that's a big deal, and the people that are killing these mortgage leads are taking advantage of that. So I'm not saying don't do IULs. They're all good, but there's something to be said about having a mix. So if you have a bad day in one, you're not having a bad day in the other. So Shaq,
Frank, what's great is some of our videos that are running, they're mortgage protection videos, but they're geared and telling people that
IULs.
we think the perfect product for mortgage protection is IUL. So the mortgage ads that are out there, there's no reason why we're not going to see a ton of CBO business, a ton of IUL business coming from, and a lot of annuity business coming from these leads. So we're really able to do all three with these. So I think it's great.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So yeah, I mean, Shaq, if you could kind of just go through what a rundown of how your basic appointment sounds and goes, and people can see just how easy it is.
Yep, for sure.
Dogs
You want me to deal with?
Dogs are they're about to kill each other.
Right, right. I'm just glad they're not barking or anything. So you want me to go with you, Frank, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Okay, cool. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Frank.
Yes.
Hey, Frank, how you doing? My name is Shaqeia Stokes. I am the assigned mortgage protection specialist to help you out regarding your request for mortgage protection. How you doing today, sir?
I'm fantastic. Yourself?
I am great. I am doing just great. So again, like I said, I'm just reaching out because you did submit a request in regards to some mortgage protection. I do have your date of birth. It looks like it's listed as 3/26/1992. Is that correct?
Sure.
Oh. All right. All right. Cool.
You
Cool.
just cut
Awesome.
20 years off. I'm fired up.
Right.
Keep going.
Awesome, sir. So I do also have listed down, looks like you listed your wife, Jamie, as your beneficiary. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. Well, before we get started, I just want to be able to introduce myself, and I'm going to actually shoot you a text message. I just shot you a text message right now. It should be a picture of myself and then my state license. Let me know whenever you receive that.
Okay, I got it.
Awesome. So that's me. So I just like to make sure up front, when I'm speaking with my clients, they're able to, identify me, know who I am, know that I'm not a complete stranger. So that is my state license and the picture of myself. So obviously, Frank, you saw an ad basically about speaking about mortgage protection. Just kind of explain to me, what it is that kind of caught your attention in regards to, you wanting mortgage protection.
I mean, a lot of the fact that it says if I pass, take care of the mortgage, if I get sick, it'll help with the payments. All that stuff sounded good to me.
Now, right now, do you have anything in place today if you were to pass away? Like, who would be able to take care of the home?
I mean, I got insurance through my job.
Okay. And nothing outside of that without your job. Okay. Awesome. So, just to kind of let you know what today is going to be, basically, we're going to submit an application. So I'm going to explain to you what mortgage protection is, how it will benefit you. And then we're basically going to figure out the finances, what budget might be feasible for you, submit an application, get you approved, and then you're going to go on about your day. Does that sound fair?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. So first things first, Frank. So I know, did you just recently purchase a home or have you had, kind of explain that situation to me? What's going on with that?
Yeah, we just bought a house.
Okay. And what's the current value of the house right now?
600 grand.
Okay. And then what's the loan balance on the home?
520, I believe.
Okay. 520. Okay. Awesome. So now I'm just going to kind of ask you some questions in regards to finances, right? Because like I said in the beginning of the call, I want to make sure that it is something feasible for you and your wife.
Okay.
So as far as net, what do you typically bring home for your net, on a month-to-month basis?
Myself and my wife.
So we're going to do you first. I'll ask the questions about your wife afterwards.
Okay. Right around 5,800.
5,800. Okay. And then right now, do you have anything like Access life insurance? I know you said you have life insurance through your job, but any Roth IRAs, old 401ks, anything of that nature?
I have a 401k. at work.
Oh, okay. And what's that amount in that 401k?
Last time I checked, it's been going down 200 grand.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And then anything else that acts as life insurance at all?
Other than the work policy, no.
Okay, got you. And then for your wife, what does she typically bring home on a month-to-month basis?
Right around 3 grand.
Right around 3 grand? Okay. And now for your wife, does she have something in place on herself? Is she, if you were to pass, or if she was to pass away, to leave for you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is she there with you right now?
She is.
Okay. Are you able to actually bring her on the line?
Yeah.
Okay,
Jamie.
cool.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm
hey,
I'm getting in here. Hello.
hey, Jamie, how you doing? My name is Shaqeia Stokes. I was just speaking with Frank. I actually shot him my credentials, so I'm the assigned mortgage protection specialist to help you guys in regards to, making sure that your home is taken care of when, God forbid, if something were to happen to you. So just going over finances right now. So Frank did tell me the finances that you guys have. So I got the finances taken care of. Now, Mr. Frank, just going to ask you a couple questions in regards to your health. What is your height and weight?
6'3", 194 pounds.
Awesome. Now I know you listed on here, you said you clicked no, you said you don't have any history of any high blood pressure, diabetes, anything like that. Is that true or?
Correct. I'm pretty good shape.
Okay, okay. And then no history of like being on a CPAP machine, any type of medication that you're taking at this time?
Nope.
Anything you're prescribed? Okay, so pretty healthy overall.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. So let me just kind of get into the benefits of this specific policy, right? So obviously, you're looking for something, God forbid, if something were to happen to you, just to basically make sure that, it's not going to be a burden on Jamie and vice versa for Jamie as well if she were to pass away. So a good thing about this particular policy, so it does have living benefits tied to it. So God forbid there's a situation where you get diagnosed with cancer, heart attack, stroke, you're able to tap into those living benefits. So that's huge. A lot of people don't realize that, with life insurance today, that there's living benefits. So also with this policy as well, there is cash value tied to it. And then lastly, being able to have a death benefit that is transferred, tax-free. So being able to, make sure when that time comes that, your home is taken care of. So I do see here, budget wise, it looks like, typically you have leftover after you pay all your bills, probably about, I don't know, 2,000. You would say you have like 2,000 left over.
I think so, babe. We
Okay.
got 2 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So, basically I just kind of want to get into the budget part. So, obviously you guys understand your finances. What would be something comfortable for you, right? Because there's a couple different plans that you can have set up with this, but what would you say right now for your budget, like on a month-to-month basis? Like what would be too high, too low? What would that look like for you?
I'd say probably no more than 350 bucks.
Okay, no more than 350 bucks. Okay. All right. And then really from there, I just kind of like go in based upon like their budget. I just kind of look and see like what they would be able to qualify for. Like if it's America or CBO, I just kind of look into there and see what, what we can do to pay off that amount. So I haven't had any issues doing it that way. Obviously, you could do it whatever way works best for you, but that's easiest for me. But that's typically, how I do how I've been doing it with the mortgage protection stuff.
Sounds simple enough. I mean, Mike, you
For the week, she 13,000. It's all simplified, right, Shaq?
Yeah, all of it. I haven't wrote, all simplified, all America, Moo.
That's
I think there's a couple ethos in there.
Strong. That's exciting to see what you're doing. Getting those deposits every day changes the game. I love it.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And the reason why also I just want to point out, because there's been a couple appointments that I've had where obviously like they have a spouse. So I asked Jamie, like I would ask, if the spouse is there or, because there was like a couple times, I think it was a policy that I did over the weekend. It was like a mother and her daughter. And got a chance to speak with her mom, and then I got both two apps. So just being able to, ask those questions, right? Sometimes you're running into people, they don't really want to do anything without their spouse. So, just kind of play it off and ask, if they're there, ask those questions. So yeah, that's pretty much about it.
On the call, you start off and you tell them, before we do this application, I got a couple questions. I mean, very assumptive when you're going right into it. Rashad has a good question. Are you looking to write the full amount of the mortgage, or how much of the mortgage are you trying to take care of?
Well, I kind of let them, that's kind of up to them, because, I will ask them, what that amount looks like for them. Again, it's based off their budget. Obviously some of these people that we're working with that I've ran into, like, are in their 60s and 50s and everything, and it's really expensive. So, I mean, they can have the opportunity to pay off some of it, like a portion, but obviously the goal is just to make sure that, at least something, is paid to just kind of alleviate that pain when they're no longer here. So.
We have another question here. Someone wants to know if the dogs are real or if that's a filter playing behind you.
Yeah, they're real. They drive me nuts. So, but yeah, they're real.
I had to keep looking down because I'm staring at them and I'm losing concentration. So I'm trying not to look at the
Yeah,
dogs.
this is 24/7. So yeah, this is
That's funny.
24/7.
Dom, you got any questions for Shaq, man? Seeing what she's doing here in mortgage?
Yeah, I do. As you're transitioning, right? What were some of the things that maybe you what are some of the perceived thoughts you had before jumping into mortgage protection that either were confirmed or were debunked? What were those?
Honestly, just me, like, just trying something new, because I've always just been like IULs. And so I dipped my toes in the final expense. I was all right with it. I'm going to work my way up to getting those folks down. But really just that mindset of this, it's something new, but like I am as a person, like, I want to be able to try something new. And I think someone's on a call, I think it may have been like a couple weeks ago, like being able to, do final expense, being able to do IULs, just being able to do it all. So, that definitely was a goal of mine to be able to, perfect in another way, I guess, like try at least. So.
And it's big. To sell, it's like an IUL, you're selling the future, right, of the cash accumulation. Final expense, you're selling, cremation, burial. But
Right.
Mortgage protection is really the only tangible sale that we got. Does that make sense? And it's and you're probably feeling some type of way as well when your close probably feels a little different as in your relationship with them, because it's more about dying and living benefits versus this cash that they're going to have in 20 years, right?
For sure.
Yeah, it's a different relationship. It's good.
It's different. It's definitely different. Yeah, definitely.
No doubt. Well, great job. And good job today.
Sure. Thank you.
So, Shaq, you're already seeing deposits hitting?
Yeah, I should have another check coming through Moo in America. I saw my little commission statement, so I'm definitely excited to keep running it up, and I got a whole bunch of leads to dial, so I'm excited. So I definitely encourage people to, don't be scared. Definitely tap into these, and yeah, it's the simplified is it just hits different. So
that is awesome. I'm excited. Well, let's bring on Amaka. Is Amaka around?
What's up, Big Mike?
How are you?
Chilling.
There you go. Let me find it. Well, Amaka, you've been working everything, man. You do a ton of IDC business, which that's tough. You do a lot of Lafayette stuff. You've done a lot of IULs. So you're doing the infinite banking. You do a bunch of IULs, and now you're coming on and start crushing this mortgage. So you can kind of share what you've gone through since you just started this, and what your thoughts are, and then kind of role play as well.
So the one thing I can say, I can agree with Shaq. You're kind of having a conversation with them. You're listening to what they want. I'm scripted to a certain extent. I just change the script, whether I'm doing IULs, annuities, or I'm gonna stick to a script, find out what they built out, and then basically letting them know what we're gonna do today. I do use the objective sheets where I go through everything. I find out what's the equity in the home. If they can't, I'll go look it up. So we got an idea of what they have. I find out if they pay extra. I find out I go through everything with them.
The people that are coming across with these type of leads, are they the same people that are filling out the IUL leads or the final expense? I mean, does it seem like the same type of person when you talk to them, or is it different people that are filling out these leads for us?
I don't know. I feel like I for me personally, I feel like they're watching something that they believe is true. You're not hearing anything about, oh, I thought this was free, or I thought this was government cheese or something. Everything that you're hearing from them, they know they're going to pay something. They know it's going to come with a monthly fee. They know it probably will cover some critical, chronic, or something type of illness or a portion of the mortgage. So it's easy to just transition into a strategy if they cannot take the entire mortgage.
Got it. Do you think it's been easier working these type of leads because of the knowledge that you have with IULs and IBCs and the other products that you've been doing? Do you think it's been easier jumping on these because you do have that knowledge?
Man, I did this a long time ago when I was under the other team, and one of the guys taught me, and then Johanna did that training, and I shot Jamie a text. I was like, "Ooh, I could do this." I remember this. And the first client, it was like $5,000 AP, like just like that. I was like, yeah, this it right here.
That's awesome.
I
Well,
think the difference between it is something about the commercial, because they clearly know what they filled out for.
like I said, Jamie and I were talking today, out of all the ads that we do run, I think it's the most straightforward ad that we have, because when you're trying to get final expense leads, you can't say, do you want life insurance? Or no one will ever call. So you're talking about final expense and burial, and people just don't know. But in terms of mortgage protection, it is by far the most straightforward video that we have running. And we have a bunch of other videos that are being cut. And we haven't even scratched the surface of the amount of leads that we're going to be able to pull in. So that's exciting. You want to go ahead and role play with Mr. Frank and talk about him and Miss Jamie?
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Frank, how you doing today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Great. Thank you for asking. Well, my name, Frank, is Amaka Anderson. I was just the agent assigned to help you out with that mortgage protection. You remember looking at that ad, Frank?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. It spoke about we'll help you pay for your mortgage. Maybe if you had a chronic illness, a critical illness, that ad, right?
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Sounds a bit familiar. Well, Frank, again, my name is Amaka Anderson, and my national producing number here is 1973-6865. With that number, you can look me up, the Department of Insurance. I'm going to do you one solid. Are we speaking on a cell phone, Frank?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, so look down on your phone. I just shot you a digital business card of me. I also shot you my license. So instead of just hearing me on the phone, now you have my license in the insurance world, sort of like my social security number. You see it?
Got it.
All right, perfect. So I started off by just verifying myself again. I just want to verify some information with you. I see that you listed that your mortgage, the balance on your mortgage is roughly about 150,000. Is that correct?
Yep. You got it.
All right, perfect. And you're paying about $700 a month?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, perfect. All right. And are you married, Frank?
I am.
Okay, perfect. Is your wife anywhere around?
Yes,
Or
she's sitting right here.
okay, perfect. Is it all right? And Frank, what's your wife's name?
Jamie.
All right. Is it all right if Jamie joins us?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm saying happy wife, happy life.
Ain't that the truth?
Absolutely. All right. Good evening, Miss Jamie. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking again. Y'all some friendly people here. All right, perfect. Again, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Amaka Anderson. I'm just the agent that been assigned to help you and your husband in finding some type of mortgage protection. Are you familiar with what the mortgage protection is?
Pretty
Okay.
much, yeah.
All right. So Jamie, let's start out with you. What do you think mortgage protection is?
If something like if I die or he dies, it pays the loan off.
Okay. Right. So mortgage protection is the insurance that homeowners take for the purpose of covering their mortgage. God forbid anything were to happen to you or Frank, depending on what you qualify for. That could mean paying off the mortgage, whether it's illness protection, critical, chronic, or terminal illness, or at the very least, providing a substantial financial cushion for you or Frank to be able to cover the mortgage if something were to happen to either one of you. Does that make a little sense?
Sure
Yeah.
does.
All right. Okay. So tell me more about what would be your concerns, Frank, especially for you. You're probably head of the household. I'm assuming if something were to happen to you and Jamie and the kids were left.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want her having some other dude up in my crib to help her pay the mortgage. I'd be spinning in my grave.
Okay. Perfect. I can understand that. So that's a man with a plan. So he's saying that he wants to provide for you, dead or alive. He wants to make sure you're all right. Make sense? All right.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm assuming, Jamie, you would want vice versa if anything were to happen to you, that Frank is able to go on, even though he's the breadwinner, able to go on and take care of the kids in the home.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So based on the information, the way the process works, I'm gonna ask a few general financial questions, a few medical questions, and just gauge what fits for you, right?
Okay.
Okay. Right. 1 second. All right. So I'm gonna ask a few medical questions, a few financial questions, and just depending on how you answer those questions, it'll give me a great idea what company will approve you or which ones might decline you. Then once we pull up some options for you, we simply just go over which one is gonna offer you the best rate. With that, we're gonna submit an application just to see if you're approved. Now, unfortunately, you don't have to commit to anything today because before you can purchase this mortgage protection, you must be approved. So I'm just one of the senior underwriters for that company, that big company, maybe like a Transamerica or a Mutual Omaha, has to say yes. Does that make sense for you?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to ask you a few financial questions first. All right, so I went over the rent, the mortgage. What's the term on you guys' mortgage?
Shoot, I don't know. What is it, babe?
20-year.
Okay, perfect. 20 years. And the house value, what would you say the house value is right now?
650.
Okay. And your monthly payments?
2,500.
Okay. And what do you guys say is the equity within the home?
300,000.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. And let me ask you guys, do you pay a little extra on the mortgage?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna go in financial inventory. I'm gonna start off with the ladies first. All right. I got Jamie Euphemia. Do you work, Jamie?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do?
I work at my kid's school.
Okay. What do you say is your monthly income?
I get paid 10 months out of the year and I get paid $2,000 a month.
Okay. Do you smoke?
No.
All right. You had any surgeries within the last year?
No, not really.
Okay. And if something were to happen to you tomorrow, Frank will be that beneficiary, that primary beneficiary.
Yeah.
All right. And let me ask you a few medical questions. Have you had any heart attacks, strokes, TIA, cancer, stents, diabetes, neuropathy, HPV, lupus, asthma, COPD, thyroid, anxiety, depression, kidney or liver disease?
No.
Okay, perfect. Typically, I'll ask Frank his questions right now.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll ask Frank the same thing, and then I'll ask both of them together. All right. Do you have anything else that will offset the cost of the mortgage?
I got coverage to job, do my job.
Okay. Do you guys have any personal coverage outside of your employment?
I don't think so, do we?
Yeah, we both have 50,000.
Okay, 50,000. All right. And then I'll ask them the golden question. Do you have anything like a 401k, a IRA, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, any type of significant savings? I'll wait for their answer. They'll fill it in. And then if they're 60 something, look, guys, if they're old, I still will show them how much they're going to pay if they wanted to cover the entire mortgage, because they got old people with money. So you might get that person that's healthy enough to say yes. I don't automatically make a strategy. Now, if they say no, I say here are some options. We can buy time, and then I'll give them different scenarios based on what the person want to live. Sometimes you get married couples, they be like, "Oh, Mark died, I'm never going in that place." You get what I'm saying? I'm out before you can say abracadabra. So you can plant a strategy on what a year and a half of mortgage look like, something like 2 years look like, to pay for the mortgage until they get a buyer. Or you got some people that say, my daughter got her own house. She just gonna do some renovations in here until she can, this is right in the city. She can use it as an Airbnb. So you're listening to what they're gonna do with the home, and then you're offering a strategy.
Love it.
Seemed pretty simple to me.
Once you settle on that number or that strategy, how do you pivot to get into the application?
So I make my numbers, right? So I make my numbers even when I'm talking to you. I'm having a conversation. I say, so right now we're going to get into the application and see what you qualify for. I'm not a quoting calculator. So if you hearing me quoting prior, 9 times out of 10, I think you on shit or you broke. Sorry, excuse my language. I think you broke, or I know you're trying to play me, or you got Chime Bank or something like that. So if I quoted you prior, you don't fit the credentials. But I let people get into the application because I don't want to be noted as, okay, I'm gonna shop around after and let XYZ. I do the shopping around for you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Any other questions, Frank, Mike, Dom?
When you ask if they have additional coverage outside of work, doesn't it matter to ask which carrier they have and type of policy?
Yes, I do. It does matter. I do ask that. It does have a slot on there. What insurance company? Yes or no, and how much? Is it work or is it private? So I do ask just in case we have something better, just in case they're overpaying, just in case they don't have immediate coverage, and I can put them in a better plan. Once I get them immediate coverage, I could you know, find them something better.
Makes sense. All right. Mike, Dom,
I actually have another question. So what percentage of these do you do one call close, and what percentage are you setting appointment later? And then, kind of what does that look like?
I would say 75% you could do one call close. If you can catch the lead while they just filled it out, 9 times out of 10, they're ready to rock. They just filled it out. They were looking at something. Oh, you were scrolling. Yeah, I just seen it. And then, or I'll call them like 5, 7 times. On Saturday, I called the dude like 7 times. And he was like, why you call me so much? I said, because you wasn't going to pick up on the first ring. And then he said, yeah, you're right. Let's go. Like,
Love it. Yeah. But you're just real. You're just a person just trying to help a person. And he probably appreciated it because like, she's right. I wasn't picking up on the first, second, third, or sixth. It took the 7th.
but most people would be uncomfortable doing that. Seriously.
Yeah.
Was he mean to you?
Nah, he chuckled. I was like, I called you so much because you wasn't gonna pick it up. You filled out this form, so I'm trying to, I'm trying to give you what you need.
Because the leads
Yeah.
that are coming in, how many of them are you calling right away versus waiting a day? Like if they come in on Saturday, you feel like you have to call them right then, or Monday were they just as
I mean,
receptive?
if you could, I'll drive in my car and call somebody and set an appointment. I just will tell Siri to remind me. But I ain't as bold as Dom yet, but at like 9:30 at night. But I'll drive. Nobody can tell if I'm driving or not.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's very, very straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Dom, you
Any
got any
other-
questions?
You know what I will say is I just love how direct everybody was today. Like every training, like both of these were just straight up and down. Like I don't care if you've never heard of mortgage protection before. You're not saying you're gonna be an expert after this, but you shouldn't be confused on what's going on here, right? Like they have a house, they have a family they want to protect it for. Our job is really the why is so big, which is why Amaka's not taking the half answers or the, well, I just kind of want, no, because the buyers, and me and Bryce talk about this a lot. He goes, when you look at all the buyers that you work with, you see the buyers do the same stuff. And your buyers typically aren't asking you, you know what I mean? Hey, does this, how much is this going to be? It makes sense. Like, typically that's a sign of like, Amaka said, they probably got the chime bank. Let's double down and see why they're asking me that. Makes sense? Let's see why. Because the person who's genuinely open and understands, they don't do stuff like that. And I think that's what really makes this a very simple sales, is when you can have it be black or white. Amaka, can you relate to where you were in sales and you were kind of living in a gray area?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this, like they could, maybe they don't really need it, or maybe they do, or maybe this is, or maybe this isn't, or maybe
or me just thinking for myself. And one time we were going over the sale and I was like in the gray area and I was thinking for myself and I was like, I wanted to ask, how you gonna live? Like, and my upline at the time was like, well, that's the point where you should have opened your mouth because closed mouths don't get fed. And I and sometimes you're just overthinking in your head instead of just blurting out like, how are you gonna live, Miss Edwards? What will happen if Dominique doesn't come home tomorrow and you do not work? What is it gonna look like? How are you gonna pay the mortgage?
and wait. Silence is so big with these. I used to talk myself out of sales with stuff like that. I would ask them that question, it would get awkward, and then I would start talking. Versus, let's just wait. I was on Zoom live dials this morning. I think we had silence for like 30 seconds. I didn't close it, but it was a weird 30 seconds, I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? But it's helpful. It's helpful stuff. So great job, Amaka. I love the transition. I love you doing what you're doing. And it's great stuff. It's great stuff. So keep it up.
Thank you. Down.
Amaka, is your goal still to hit Hall of Fame this year?
Hell yeah, big white.
Where are you at right now?
I don't know. Because the numbers ain't updated.
Well, you know where you are as of 3 weeks through June. You do have that.
Yeah, I think it's like 146.
146. So you need to do. Can anyone do the math? Divided by 6.
Like
Yeah.
256.
42,000 a month.
I'm gonna
42
do
grand a
it.
month.
I'm coming for all the money.
Isn't it crazy when you look at it like that? 42,000.
Yeah, that's
That's not,
Minimum 50 to avoid chargebacks.
And she's writing annuities.
yeah, I like that.
Hall of Fame.
It doesn't count towards the Hall of Fame, but it definitely helps with the money, the cash flow to buy leads.
Yeah, I called the annuity master this weekend. He picked up too.
There you go.
Shaq, your goal, you asked me, you said you asked about hitting Hall of Fame. Where are you at right now? Do you know? Did you run your numbers?
my numbers are messed up too. Honestly, the past 2 months it's been a little difficult for me, but I'm back on the horse. I'm geared up, I'm hyped up. So it should be better rest of the half moving forward. So
Where were you at the first half? Wherever it is, we can fix it. Even if you were at 0, you could still hit Hall of Fame. So where are you at?
I know it's 100 and something. You'll have to ask Kendall. I don't know if Kendall has it
Just
on
call
here or
it,
not.
let's just call it 100 and say you got to do another 300. So 50 grand. No
Yeah.
problem, right? Because you were
Yes,
asking
sir.
how to hit 80.
Yeah.
There you go. So worst case, if you're only at 100,000, we need 300. So 50 grand a month. Kendall, you know she was better than that, better than 100.
Yeah, she's right at like 101. So it's like
Okay,
299.
so right there then, 50 grand.
Yeah, 50 grand. Which the second quarter is always the best. The third and the fourth quarter are always the best.
So anyone else that's out there and you're at 50,000, 100,000, if you're brand new and you're at 0, still plenty of time to be able to hit Hall of Fame if that's what you want to do. And I have no doubt that these two women are going to be able to hit Hall of Fame. It's exciting watching what's going on. It's funny how we can just pivot, Dom, right? We're killing final expense and then we start doing IULs and then we just grab mortgage. We can do whatever and just make it happen. That's what's exciting. Frank, anything else before we wrap up? Oh, one
No.
person had a question. I saw a hand up. Bass was her last name. She's gone. All right. Frank, anything else before we wrap up?
No, I think that was golden.
Awesome.
Let's
I
get this recording
appreciate
out and so people can listen to it again.
I appreciate you
helpful.
guys. All
Thank
right.
you all.
See you guys next week. Let's crush it.
Great job, Amaka.
Good job, Amaka. Way to kill it, Shaq.